Colts at Jets.
I'm taking the Colts +4. The Jets shouldn't be favored over Georgia by 4. Good God, they're awful. The Colts get Anthony Richardson back. He's explosive. The Jets struggled with Kyler Murray. The defense for the Colts, top 10 scoring defense since week 6, and I like their offensive line. I think they'll run the football and play keep away. The Jets are 1-6 over their last 7. If you go to since week 4 and look at the Jets stats, what do they do well? Their defense is 26th ranked. Their offense, Aaron Rodgers 29th in completion percentage. Since week 4, 15 points a game. How can they be favored by 4 over anybody? I'm not sure the locker room has got any juice in it. I think the Colts, this is a desperation spot for this team. I like the Colts to win. I'll take the points 24-23.
Yeah, this is kind of going to be an interesting game as well. A lot of people have asked me, have said like, oh, you're not doing some Jets content now. Like, why aren't you doing it? And I like to talk about teams that are relevant. I only have so much time and so much energy to make clips. Like I'm not making clips about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants and, some of these other teams. And the Jets, who I thought were definitely going to be significantly better, it's like I could only say the same things about the Jets again and again and again. And I will definitely do another video that's more centered around the Jets and what's going wrong and the whole story. But I'll be honest, I don't find it that interesting. I thought it would be more interesting to watch them succeed than watching them fail, because watching the Jets fail is same old, same old. It's just not that interesting to me. And again, to be very clear, I thought the Jets would be significantly better. I 100% got that wrong. I have no problem ever admitting that, because I always say that predictions are made up nonsense. It's absolutely just guesses. So this is, I just want to emphasize, this is me like not doing the stuff because I don't want to be wrong or whatever it may be, because I make clips about stuff that I'm wrong all the time, literally every single day. So, but again, they're just the Jets right now are irrelevant. I mean, what are the top stories? Who do you want to talk about? I want to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to talk about the Commanders. I want to talk about the Lions, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, like all teams that actually have potential to do something. I believe that the Bengals, if they get into the playoffs, they could beat the Chiefs. The Jets get into the playoffs, like, I mean, obviously I don't even think that's even possible at this point. Maybe technically, statistically possible, but I'm like, I don't think the Jets are going to beat it. I mean, I'm not betting on the Jets to win anyone. So, like, that's kind of the way I look at it. Same thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's like, yeah, we could talk about what's continuing to go wrong for Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, but it's like not that interesting to me. And any of the Jets videos that I've made, quite frankly, haven't got a lot of engagement. Not a lot of people want to talk about the Jets either, which I found kind of interesting. I would have thought more people would want to discuss the Jets, even if just to hate on them and Aaron Rodgers and all of that. But I felt like this was a good platform to kind of discuss the Jets in terms of kind of Colin's blazing 5 pick and kind of just give my updated views on where the Jets lie. And the reality is like the Jets are no longer on my radar at all. They're just not. And so to continue to, like, I don't get the idea, and this is what we do with, and I saw First Things First do this as well. They do this with the Cowboys, and they did this with the Jets. Like, Colin and First Things First, like, they kept doing a lot of Jets content when obviously things were going wrong, and they do this with the Dallas Cowboys, and it's like, that's why, like, I did a ton more Dallas Cowboys content earlier on in the season when there was relevance, and now they're irrelevant. They're so bad, and now Dak is no longer obviously the quarterback. It's like, what am I going to do? Like, like there was a First Things First clip the other day, and it was like, what went wrong for Dallas? And it's just like, I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and go be like, I'm not going to keep rehashing the same thing again and again and again. I'm going to move on. I'd rather talk about, like, what is the realistic expectations of the Detroit Lions? If the Lions face the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, who you got? Like, even though that's obviously weeks into the future, like, I'd rather discuss that than a team that's irrelevant. I only want to talk about things that matter. I want to have an accurate and relevant discussion. And right now, the New York Jets are just truly irrelevant. If they like piece together a couple wins in a row, and now it's like, hey, if they win the next, again, X amount of games, like, they could make it to the playoffs. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, let's talk about that. But at this point, it's like, not really that interesting to me. So In terms of like who can win this game 24-23, I don't know, man. Like seriously, it's like I truly have no idea. It's like how many people unfortunately are even watching this game. You got the Bills versus the Chiefs, the Ravens versus the Steelers. We had the other day we had the Eagles versus the Commanders. We're talking about big box office games. And now we got the Colts versus the Jets. And Flacco was benched, and now I think AR's back in the lineup, which would be interesting. And it's like, it's like, what do we do with this game? I'm surprised that Colin even has this in his blazing five, quite frankly. So, yeah, unfortunately, just messy seasons for both these teams. Actually, ironically, I thought both these teams were going to be significantly better, the Colts and the Jets, because I'm a firm believer, especially in Shane Steichen and what they're able to do. So to see both these teams kind of struggle has been a little disappointing just from like an entertainment perspective, because I think the Colts could be really fun to watch, and I thought the Jets would be fun to watch. And that's also actually what it comes down to. I'm glad I kind of walked into that as well. The Jets haven't been fun to watch. Even in those games, when I was watching the Jets versus Texans, it was a drag. There was a couple exciting moments, obviously, with that big catch and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm like, this is actually just not a fun watch. Like, this is actually not enjoyable to watch. The Texans really didn't have a lot going on. The Jets didn't have a lot going on. And it was just like, this didn't feel fun. This didn't feel energetic. The crowd was barely in it. Half the crowd has like paper bags over their head. Like, I'm not into that. Like, I don't get a rise out of that type of stuff. I like to watch great teams play each other, have great moments, exciting moments, grind it out. It doesn't mean that every game needs to be, this hot shot 42-35 type game, but it's just like, I want to see a fun product, and that's quite frankly, that is not who the Jets have been this season, and just the way it goes. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Jets being favored by 4 points and Colin saying absolutely not, take the Colts? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.